Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wise Tips. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Eduardo, how are you doing today?
Hi, Rachel. It's good to be here one more time. And with, as you can see, my COVID-19 hairstyle.
Yes, I like
Since
it.
we are still
Very
in
nice.
lockdown, it is appropriate for the summer. Let's put it that
Yes, yes, very true. Very true.
yeah,
Well, as
but
also
anxious to
appropriate.
show a bunch of new stuff because we have a bunch of things to show our people. So I'm very excited about
Yes,
that as well.
yes, definitely. So, without further ado, we've got version 87, which is now available for everyone. We're going to post it on Facebook here in a minute as well, but we're really excited to have that available for everyone. We do still recommend, though, if you haven't closed out your billing for the month of June, please, please, please do that first before
Yes.
you upgrade to this new version. There's a lot of new features on here, so we want to make sure that you guys are prepared for all the things that we have ready for you on this version. So like I said, please make sure you close out June billing before you upgrade to version 78, or excuse me, 87. Wow, we've gotten a lot.
Yes.
Please just go ahead and contact Shahid support ticket or give us a holler for us to find time that works best for you to go and update that. Please look at the list of new features. There's a lot of new things. Look at versions 85, 86, and 87. There's a ton of new stuff there. There's even some videos. You'll see video links in there as well to help you out with some of those things, like the Wise Option email network, which is now available as well. So please kind of look through there, as well as realize that we are going to have the mobile app coming out later this week as well. We realize it's a little late and we apologize for that. It just took us a little longer between the app stores for their approval before they actually submit it. So it will be available the next few days, at the very latest Friday, hopefully more like Thursday. But in order to get all those new features and cool things like images and being able to change locations on the mobile app, you are going to have at least version 87. Okay, so again, if you want the new version of the mobile app later this week, make sure you update to version 87 first so that you are able to access all those new features. So
I'm
without
very
further,
excited about the network email.
yes.
And next week, we're going to be testing the Wise Option Network Messenger. So I think that's going to be very, very cool.
Yes, definitely. And there is, just so you guys know, there is a video in that list of new features that explains how that Wise Option Network email, how for you to set that up per user and for your operation as well. So kind of be sure to look in there. So we've got today, I've kind of got a few that I'll probably go first on because all mine kind of have to pertain to the hospital module side of things. So we'll go back, and instead of going our back and forth, I'll just kind of do a few, and Eduardo, I'll let you do a few after that, if that sounds good with you.
Oh, that sounds good. That's good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So today I've got some hospital module tips for you guys. So the first one is that ready to go button. So it's right above that discharge button. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over to here to my hospitalized patients. So you can see here, and I'll go ahead and select a patient here. So that ready to go button on top of the discharge button, you'll notice when you click on it, it looks the exact same as a discharge button. So basically what that is that allows you to put diagnosis, that allows you to put diagnosis comments, feeding instruction, banding instructions. It allows you to fill out essentially the discharge instructions without having to discharge the horse. So this is really helpful if someone calls and says, hey, I want to pick up my horse on Sunday, and it always seems to happen that you discharge the horse, you bill for everything, you have everything sitting on the counter, and they don't show up till Wednesday. And so then you've got to tack on some extra board charges, the horse stick its foot through the fence again. It's just a mess. So to avoid some of that painful things of trying to edit the procedures afterwards, rebill, all that stuff, just simplify things by going ahead and getting everything ready beforehand through this ready to go, hit submit and save. And that way, when they're actually ready to discharge and you're ready and the person actually comes to pick up their horse, you can just hit this discharge button. All the information you entered in the ready to go will populate there, and you can just discharge the horse like normal and bill. That's my first tip for the hospital. My second.
I just want to put a word here because I thought your example was amazing. How many times you've seen people just saying, oh, I'm going to pick my horse the next day, and they simply don't show up. Plus, the ability for the vet to go there and write all the discharge instructions and just leave it there, get it ready. So any technician can just go there, hit the button, complete the process without having to take notes or anything like that. Very cool feature you chose to show our users today.
So then my next one has to do with hospital board rates. So Because everyone probably who uses the hospital module knows that you have the ability to actually charge for board through the hospital module instead of, or potentially in addition to, depending on how you set things up, your normal recurring board charges. So if you are charging hospital board through the hospital module for horses that are coming in and under your care, one thing to consider is hospital levels and different rates you can charge for different levels. So I think of levels as intensity. So level 1, low intensity, maybe you go in the stall once a day. Level 4, okay, you're going in the stall upwards of 6, 7, 10 times a day. You're running fluids, you're giving eye treatments every 2 hours, etc. And so kind of it's a different way you could think about it of charging the client and how they're going to view that invoice. They can either see that, for instance, let's say you had to give eye meds every 2 hours, so it's 12 times a day, and you're going through and you're charging a little administration fee on top of each eye med you're giving 12 times a day. That kind of adds up. That makes the bill look kind of messy and might not, the customer might not like to see all those charges on the bill. So a different way you can go about it is instead of maybe tacking on all those administration fees for the eye meds, instead you can do it through your different level of intensity board rates. So you could say, okay, well, if you go in the stall more than 10 times, that's a level 4 board rate, and it's more than obviously a level 2 or a level 1 board rate. So it's just a different way of charging and a different way that your invoice will be presented to your client, and it can kind of help clean up the invoice as well, make everything a little more cohesive and a little more clear to your client.
I really like, the idea of simplifying, and great option right there. You're killing today. It's really good because, the idea of, making voices shorter, and instead of charging, administration fee for every single time, it's cumbersome. It might be overkilling. The customer might think that you're just abusing. And it's straightforward. If you have a more intense patient, you just create a special board and you just check in, check out. It stays on that for a few days and you move back to another one. And at the end of the day, it's all about reducing the number of phone calls. I think this way you just described it's very straightforward. So customers will not call complaining or asking why is this way or that. Very cool.
Right.
Nice.
Yes. One kind of word of caution about using that is obviously it does take just a little bit, more interaction with the hospital record as you're doing things, as hopefully the horse is getting better, you're tacking down the number of treatments you're doing per day. Make sure if you are going to be using hospital levels that you're kind of cognizant as you're editing and altering the treatment plan to also go ahead and update that hospital record as well, or the hospital invoice level, or the rate level, so that you can go ahead and make sure you're charging the appropriate rate for the level of intensity you're giving to that care of that patient. My last thing about the hospital record is going to be over here, the treatment tab, which is right behind the patient. So this is actually, it's a pretty simple, straightforward thing, but it's really quick, especially when you are, I really like to use it when I'm adding in treatment plans. Is a really quick and easy way to make sure that you actually enter them in correctly. Sometimes you're going 90 miles an hour and you click the wrong hour, you click the wrong amount. This catches that super easy. So it's really easy once you enter in a few treatment plans, just skip ahead a few days and you'll see, oh, I accidentally entered that in at 12 a.m. instead of 12 p.m. I entered that in a few more times than necessary. Catches things really quickly. You can also very quickly and easily right click on these and say, put as performed, add a comment, set as skipped, all of that as well. So a quick, really easy way to navigate a patient's treatment plan and catch any mistakes maybe that were made while making that treatment plan.
Yeah, we are so visual, and this type of a kind of outlook style for the calendar, kind of it's easy for the eyes and it's very easy for you to catch problems. Just like you said, the right clicks, it's a huge plus that you can interact with those items right on the spot. And going back and forward, oh my gosh, you can not only see if you're behind with certain things you didn't set as done, but also, like you just said, double checking if the procedures alternating bandages, for example, every 2 or 3 days. You can just skip, and double check if the things were entered properly. Cool things. You killed on the hospital today, huh?
I tried. Got a few together.
That was really nice. My turn?
Thanks. Your turn. Go for it.
All right. Okay. So I'll wait for you to put me on the screen here.
Go for it.
And I have to share first, I guess.
Okay.
Let me try to share my screen with you. Which one is this? This is the one. And I think you should have me now there. I believe you can. There you go. I put 2 because I want to explore a little bit my iPad as well. So I have my desktop and my iPad on the screen at the same time. So the first one that I want to, yeah, you see, even an iPad, a virtual iPad emulator here. 87, just to give a shout, you're going to find the email. That's going to be so cool. We should do one only for that. Remember, you guys, about the notepad. In the notepad, if you don't have a paper in hand, you just go there and, you have your side of your notes. So it's an easy way. But the beauty of this module, it's already going hand in hand with the notepad on the mobile app. So you can use it over here as well. That is my first one. It's just a shout because I've seen that people are not quite in the habit of using that module, that feature yet, and it's pretty cool. The next one I think is pretty handy is when you are in a customer account, and here I'm going to try to just pick one customer here by chance. You have the email addresses over here on this corner. Wise Option allows you to send an email message. You still can go for the form letters if you want to, but the form letter is going to use templates and merge the document. If you just want to send an email, it's just a free email. Just go for the email address, click on the email address, and Wise Option is going to open a blank page where it's going to already put the email address for you on the address bar. You just enter your from, your subject, right, click your email, and hit the send button, and this is going to be registered to that customer file and in the communication log, so you have registered for your records. So sending mail would be, my number 2.
Love it.
Number 3, it's related to adding new patients to the system. You can go to the patient file and add from there. I personally prefer to add patients from the customer file from this button here, for the simple fact because when you add the patient from here, the owner names are already filled out. Just save me 3 clicks right on the spot. So it's all about less clicks. And another thing that I like about this is that, I know that this patient is 7 years old. You just type 7 on the age and tab over, and Wise Option is going to calculate the year and put the year on the date of birth for you, always considering January 1st. So that would be the age thing. Also about adding new patient, you have on this little guy here, that's little gear on the top here. When you click it, Wise Option is going to show you a list of custom reminders. As soon as you hit the save button, adding the patient, you can customize the type of reminders you want Wise Option to guide you through in the process of adding a new patient. So right now we can remind you about adding the markings. If you want to add procedures, if you want to put the patient in the boarding list, currently it's called a recurring. If you want to put a book, there's a misspelling there. We need to fix that. If you want to send a form letter, mail record, if you want to schedule palpation, or if the patient is syndicated, if you want to adjust the syndication multiple ownership right on the spot. These are options you can customize at your like. In my case, I leave them all off, but you can, in your case, each user, and it's on a per user basis, so you can set up your customization for your reminders. The last one that I have, it's about the location map. People were screaming at us because we moved the location map temporarily. You still could change the location through the patient file and operate the location management. But the location management is back to the data. So you will be able to operate with your location. Basically, this is a way in Wise Option where we allow our users to move patients from, into your property or different locations in a massive way. But since the Wise Option mobile app is coming pretty handy, I would like to encourage our users to give it at least a try to do the location management through the mobile app. In my case here, I'm going to use the iPad real quick on this corner. So I'm going to click here on the bottom for more options, and I'm going to go to my location management on my iPad. This is, according to my filters, my settings, my daily worksheet. Not many people know that you can access the daily worksheet in the iPad. So it's your second option if you don't have a remote desktop connection. But what I wanted to show you today is that instead of the daily worksheet, I can say, organize my list by location and all patients. Therefore, I have all my active patients or all patients in my list, and they are organized per location. You can expand all the lists. You're going to have all the tags. By the way, if you click on the tag, it shows this little tooltip telling you what that tag is.
Yep.
Up here on top, you can check this box, and you're going to be able to select certain patients. And from here, you can move the patient to a different location. So I'm going to put here, for example, just going to pick something here by chance. And those 4 patients will be checked. I'm here on the test version, so don't bother for my test because this is a fake database. I was playing with it earlier. But the idea is this is not released yet. It's going to be on version 16. Check. Use your location ping, change your location, and the patients will be. In other words, that's why we removed location management for a while from the desktop, because we were playing with this. Now that those two are working hand in hand. In other words, doesn't matter if you use the location management on your desktop or on the mobile app, the central database is going to be updated with the location. So those are my tips for today.
I love it. Well, that last one, that one's really exciting. That one's awesome. That's a lot of, as you go data entry, which I always try and make sure we're doing as much as possible. So that's really exciting. So hopefully later on this week, like I said, latest Friday, hopefully more Thursday, once the app stores actually go ahead and submit and push our apps through to production, those will be ready. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. I know this one went a little long. No, there's some announcements there in the beginning, but look out for Facebook for more announcements for the mobile app. And of course, you'll see version 87 coming out as well. Also look out, we will be having our Wisecast this week. So stay tuned for more. And we've got some really exciting guests coming up too. So we can't wait to start talking about them as well. So we hope you all have a very safe rest of your week. I hope it gets a good one, and we will see you soon.
See you next time.